Hi, welcome back to our Bhava Living in Partnership with Spirit Gathering Sunday broadcast. My name is Ingrid Turner. Thank you so much for joining us. If this is your first time and you're unfamiliar with us, I want to talk a little bit about the Bhava Spiritual Mission and who the heck we are and what we do. We are a digital church. We are truly non-denominational. All walks of life are welcome. We are here to help you connect with divine spirit, with the infinite, through the modalities of your intuition, psychic mediumship, channeling, and energy healing. We do this by showing up today, every Sunday here at where you're watching, same time, same place, different players every week. And we run a school where we help you find your spiritual gifts, do the deeper healing work to bring those spiritual gifts out into the world and build your platform and take your message out into the world and share with whoever that resonates with you. So that's who we are in a nutshell. My name is Ingrid Turner. Like I said, and it's right there. I'm the founder of the Bhava Spiritual Mission. So I am a spiritual channel, a psychic medium, and a healer myself. And I run our school. So I facilitate our classes and our coursework and our groups to help people navigate through whatever they need to navigate through and come into their spiritual power and take that out into the world. So that's us in a nutshell. I'm a little nervous today. I've been getting into the swing of these and I'm going, okay, I got this. And then today I'm like a little gripped with anxiety and fear. So bear with me if I stutter and stumble a little bit as we get started. So today's format, you just had a sound healing, a sound bath with our fabulous and amazing Chris Blum. She is one of our leadership ministers and she records these sound healings for us every week. We had to take a little break. So if you've been following along with us, you see, oh, sound healing is back. So we're kind of doing this like musical elimination diet because on our Facebook page, Facebook kept blocking our video because there's some piece of music that we're using that their algorithm is flagging is potentially not ours. It is all ours. We're not stealing music, but we're trying to figure out which piece it is so that we can figure that out and navigate that. So we have our sound healing back and you'll hear a sound bath again with Chris when we integrate after our panel discussion. So I'm going to be grounding us in and delivering the message from Spirit, and then talking a little bit about it. Every week I tune into my spirit guide. His name is Mons. He's like my user-friendly interface with the divine. I'm connecting with the infinite in a way that sort of works with my psyche and how I can best receive it because I'm human and we're human. We're here for the human experience. So spirit, divine spirit, God comes to us in a way that we can connect with. And once we connect with that, then we can bring through a message and understand
better what the heck is going on energetically. So the messages that I bring through are evergreen. They also build on each other. So if you're new to this broadcast, you might want to go back to, when did we start this? The beginning of September. We've been doing this since the beginning of September. You might want to go back and check out some of the messages, see if they connect and they resonate with you. Because when you receive the message is when you're meant to get it. And I've noticed that these are building on each other and kind of building a really cool practice that we've been doing. So that being said, and then after I deliver the message and talk about it a little bit, then we're going to bring on our panel. We have Harmony Purdy, Brittany Stokes, and Lou Martin on. This is going to be such a dynamic panel. What I'd like you to do is, as you receive the message, as you listen to my delivery of it, let it sink in and see what comes up for you. We are bringing together our panel to expand on this message. We're all channels, okay? So we all open up to divine spirit in our own way and bring the messages through. And we want to invite you to play with that energy as well and to open up and feel the energy and see what comes to you, what pings you. Or if you have any questions, or if you can relate this to your own life, leave a comment, because we're going to want to bring those comments on and include you in our conversation. The analogy I use, like every week, I know this is getting old, but it's a good analogy. The analogy I use is a patchwork quilt. Okay, I have a piece, Harmony, Brittany, Lou, we all have pieces. We're creating a bigger and bigger blanket. And when you come on with your piece, then you help us expand on this message, and we get a deeper, richer, more meaningful understanding of what divine spirit is trying to convey to us about this new energy, this new earth, this new paradigm, and where we're headed, the direction that we're headed. Okay, once we go through that panel and have our discussion and I have our Q&A with you, I'm going to integrate us with that sound bath again, and then I'll come on for some announcements. Stay tuned for that. I got some cool stuff to talk to you about, and then we'll go ahead and close out and you can be on with your day. So thank you so very much once again for joining in. Let's do this. All right. First thing we're going to do is ground. So what I'd like you to do is just close your eyes with me if you're able to. If not, just relax your body and get real present. I want you to take 3 deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. Feel your energy pool in your root chakra. Maybe it'll feel warm or tingly. You'll just be aware that it's happening. Take a deep breath in and pull the energy from your root into your heart. Exhale and hold the energy in your heart. Inhale and pull the energy from your heart into your crown. Exhale and hold the energy in your crown. Inhale and pull the energy out of your body. Feel it connect with divine source energy. And with the out breath, pull that energy back into your body and into your heart. Breathe in and hold the energy in your heart. Breathe out and pull the energy down to your root. Breathe in and hold the energy in your root. Breathe out and push the energy down your legs and into your feet. Breathe in and hold the energy in your feet. Breathe out and push the energy into the earth. Feel that energy hook in with the earth's core, and take a deep breath in and pull it back up towards your feet. Exhale. Inhale and feel the energy hit the soles of your feet and move up your legs and pool again in the root chakra, and exhale into your root chakra. I want to encourage you to go ahead and keep your eyes closed and breathe. And remember that you're not required to remember every word of this message. I want you to just let it sink into your body. Let it sink into your aura, into every cell, and entwine itself. And trust that you will recall the specifics of this message when you need to recall it. So you can trust that. Okay, today's message. Since the paradigm shift in your reality, it has been harder and harder for you to take actions that are not aligned with your heart fire. Your heart fire is normally thought of as life purpose, but that is just a sliver of what we mean. Your heart fire is the essence that fills your entire being. It is meant to radiate from you, to emanate from you, and thus draw to you its worldly expression. It is not a solid substance. It is your unique divine signature. Your life purpose is the peace that is the doing, but heart fire is the peace, is the being of this signature energy. Almost all of you have squelched your heart fire and seek relentlessly a fulfillment that cannot be found outside of this energy. Residing fully in your heart fire brings you into alignment as a divine being. This is why you have stuffed it away and why everyone you love has unwittingly discouraged your heart fire. The paradigm shift now requires you to inhabit your heart fire to stay on this planet. You are bringing in the golden age. This means it is harder and harder to live out of alignment with who you are. Again, it is easy to associate what we are sharing with you with what you are here to do, but that is the smallest aspect of heart fire. You will not know at first what it is you do in the world with your heart fire, and indeed for many, it will change many times throughout your life. The focus must always be within. Your outer purpose reveals itself to you. It is not something you go out and find or try to figure out. Now is the time to become so slow in everything. Honor discomfort that arises. It is underneath what is surfacing now that you will find your heart fire. It will feel both familiar and alien at the same time. It is your original energy, but you have been out of touch with it for so long. It used to be that the human experience was the journey back to authenticity. On this new earth, the journey will be along and growing into authenticity, not losing it and then having to rediscover it. Your children will embody this new paradigm fully. You, as the bridge, are tasked with unearthing your heart fire and courageously standing tall in that fire as it burns away the rubble of your conditioning. Then you will be prepared to nurture the next generation and transmute your own suffering to spiritual wisdom and divine integrity. Love has arrived on earth. You are the first bringers of that love. You are the ones to light the blaze of this golden age with your own heart fire. For now, your task is to be. Find slowness, be silent, be present with everything and anything arising in you and nothing more. Use the practice of radical gratitude and deep honoring to burn away your identity and inauthentic beliefs. In presence, slowness, being, allow your heart fire to emerge, and then all will be clear. Let's just take a deep breath together and allow that message to sink in. I just want to take a moment to set an intention with you, to speak a prayer, that we allow this message to enter our being, our body, our hearts. The essence of this message becomes one with us. And we allow ourselves to integrate it fully into our lives, to transform us and thus transform everyone around us. And in this way, do our part to bring in this new earth, this new energy of love, community, and unity. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for joining me on that one. I have definitely felt since I really went into spiritual work, I have felt that resistance, that difficulty that Spirit was talking about in doing anything out of alignment with what was authentic for me. And I feel like that's been true for anybody who's on their spiritual path, who is committed to Spirit in any way, whatever form that takes. But what I get from this message is this is going to be true for everybody now. And the thing for us always to remember is compassion. Compassion is so important right now because everybody on the planet is transforming and transmuting and making their way to their heart, to this heart fire that spirit is talking about. And when they don't have an understanding spiritually of what's happening or energetically of what's happening, weird things can happen and do happen. Weird behaviors, uncomfortable emotions, lashing out, projections, blaming. We see so much of this disruptive energy on our earth right now. And spirit reminds me and reminds us again and again and again that this is temporary. This is drama. This is noise. This is chaos. This is a settling. This is a demolishing of what does not fit in this paradigm. This is an incredible new earth, an incredible new energy. I felt us pop fully into the new earth, the golden age on the spring solstice. And it's just going to be bumpy while we settle into it. But spirit tells us over and over again, the new earth is here. Love is here. The energy is here. We're not moving towards it anymore. We're not heading in that direction. We're not even transitioning into it. We are in it. And as such, the clearing away, the burning away of what is not in alignment for us is going to be intense. And you spiritual beings out there who have been committed to spirit, you've been doing this work early on, and you're going to continue to do this work, but you kind of know about this. You know about the energy, you know about spirit, but just have compassion for those who don't know, for those who don't yet understand. They will have to, as they peel back the layers of gunk from their heart, they will come to realize, they will come to see, they will come to know God, spirit, holy being, holy divine as you do. So be patient, have compassion, hold boundaries like a mofo, because just because you have compassion and love for what a person is going through, it doesn't mean that you have to be a target or you have to be a martyr in any way. You don't. We don't live in the age of martyrs anymore. That's old paradigm stuff. This is about community, unity, and the practice of being the living of unconditional love in a way that we've never experienced before. Well, I won't say never, but as far as we know, we haven't experienced this before. So it's an amazing time to be alive. It's an exciting time to be alive. Now for you, for your practice, because this is going to come up, this is going to continue to come up, the peeling away, it's fine-tuning your alignment in a way that perhaps you haven't experienced, where it feels like any movement out of alignment is going to cause pain, is going to cause discomfort. And so your practice, while you don't yet necessarily know what that fine-tuned alignment looks like, all of us have gotten away with this for a long time to some degree, some to a larger degree and some to a not so large degree, but to some degree. And now we're not getting away with it anymore. We must fine-tune our alignment, fine-tune our fire, allow our essence to emanate from us more completely than we ever have been able to before. And that means this burning away of the nonsense. So as your emotions come up, as difficult feelings arise, as discomfort arises, the practice that spirit is begging for you to put into play is to let yourself be with your experience, whatever that is, and stop telling the story about it. Don't even attach it to anything. Just let it be. Come back to presence, come back to presence, come back to being, come back to being. When your mind wants to hook into something, that's just playing an old paradigm and you don't need to do it anymore. Put it on a shelf, let yourself be. And as you let yourself be with even the most difficult emotions, or maybe some just amazing emotions that are coming up, this can go either way. If you're feeling a tremendous amount of joy and excitement and energy, again, the mind wants to hook you onto something. What's this about? Why am I feeling this? Put it on the shelf. Just let yourself be fully in whatever experience is showing up for you. And as you do that, that is the act that burns away the conditioning. The mind, the stories are the conditioning, the authentic expression, the emotion. That's the stuff you're looking for. And you will sink and sink and sink deeper and deeper. And you will find that authentic core. You will find that heart fire and begin to radiate and emanate. And people will not even recognize you when they look at you, but you won't mind because you'll know. You're fully in alignment with your divine signature, with your divine authenticity. So I hope that's helpful, my darling. I want to bring on our panel because there's a lot more to talk about here. We have some juicy stuff. So thank you once again for jumping on. Let me pull on our Bhava babes and let's talk more. Harmony, Brittany, and Sweet Lou. Hi, beautifuls. Thank you so much for jumping on. I'm so happy that you're here. I know I was gushing about it earlier. I'm just going to continue to gush. What I'd like to do is, I just love you. What I'd like to do is go around and I'd like you, I'll say your name, and then I'd like you to introduce yourself, tell us a little more about you for people who don't know you, and then I'd like to get your expansion on today's message. What came through for you that perhaps I didn't pick up on? And Harmony, let's start with you.
Okay. Hi, I'm Harmony. I'm an intuitive, a channeler, Bhava minister. Feel really grateful to be here today. And I just really love the message that came through today, Ingrid. Thank you so, so much. So I just sat with this message for a little bit to just like really feel into like what was coming up for me as I heard it. And something that really came up for me with this message was this distinction between our heart fire and our purpose. And the reason being is I feel like, and I'm not the only one, I can feel that there's a lot of us that are constantly like on the search for our purpose. Like, what is our purpose? Like, I have to find it. I have to connect with it. And there's this constant like searching, like you kind of said, outside of ourselves. And so what I was seeing in this message is you were talking about this heart fire as being like, it's almost like our divine essence. It's really just going inward and tapping in. Spirit always calls it for me like this river of energy that flows through all of us. And what I was seeing is like, when we're tapping into this heart fire, it's getting into our alignment. It's turning on the light in our source stream. So it's like lit up. And it's just like you said, this energy is just emanating from you. And what I love so much from this message is Spirit, what I got was Spirit was saying is when you do that, the purpose or the action gets drawn to you. It comes back to you. And Spirit was saying it's like moths to light. So if you've ever noticed like a light at night, moths are drawn to it, right? And there's all these different moths. So that is what Spirit was saying is the purpose is like, the purpose is coming to you when you just connect in with your true essence. You start lighting up just like a light, and then it comes to you. So I just love how it's like, it's once again, it's about allowing that energy to come to you. So your job is really about getting into alignment. It's really connecting in with that source stream. And I also love that you were talking about, allowing, let me read it one more time. What is surfacing where you will, okay, so it is underneath what is surfacing where you will find your heart fire. So I really liked that part of the message because it's once again, it's allowing. And what I was hearing from Spirit as I like sank into that was just trust the process. Like we're being guided to this heart fire. And like the stuff that's coming up is getting cleared away so that we can see that essence. Almost like if you had a rock and it's covered with mud and you're putting it in water and it's slowly dissolving, and underneath is that diamond. That's like our essence. And so what's coming up right now is the stuff that needs to get washed away. And so just trusting that process and really allowing it. And then once again, just reiterating like this message of allowing and really trusting the process. Our job is to get into alignment, to connect with that energy that's all within ourselves. And the purpose can have multiple expressions. That's the essence of it. So yeah, really beautiful message today. I really appreciate it.
Oh, awesome. I appreciate the expansion you just pulled through. Your visuals are, I was love, you and Brittany have the most amazing visuals, but that felt so good. I want to remind our viewers that also, if you have comments, if you have pings, if you have questions, if you want to relate, leave a comment and join our conversation. We're going to go around to our Bhava babes and have them share, and then we're going to bring you on. So go ahead and leave your comments. Thank you for that, Harmony. That was gorgeous. Yeah, thank you. Brittany, talk about you and then what you got. Tell us your expansion.
Hi, I'm Brittany Stokes. I live here in Grass Valley, California. I'm going to say that if we're going to talk labels, I think I'm going to come up with astrological guide. I think that's the new label. Yeah.
Changeable.
Yeah, we can move it around through time. So this message came, I read it this morning, and it hit me really hard and fast. There was a lot coming up when I read the message. And so I just started writing it all down really quickly. So the heart fire equates to me, it equates to creativity. And it's a very basic form of creativity, like the impulse that propels our heartbeat, the creative force within us, our eternal bond with God or source. And so when I thought of heart fire, it was just an incredible basic essence that connects us to everything. So as you started talking about discouragement of being able to display our heart fire, I immediately thought of the suppression of our heart fire to keep the status quo, to keep the cogs in the machine aligned, to keep society running, turning the same as it did yesterday, and to keep feeding the hungry mouths of greed and abuse of power. And first thing that came up is that's slavery. That's slavery. So
Wow.
suppressing heart fire immediately to me equates to slavery. And to squash your heart flame, because it wouldn't conform. So that kept coming up too. The reason why we might want to stuff it down is it's not conforming to the status quo.
Yeah.
That when you were like, this is no longer going to be how things go, I felt that super strong. No longer. That is definitely what I've been picking up on recently. Fear keeps us in uniform, and it keeps us living in this uniform line, performing out of sync with our inner essence, our inner desire, our creative expression, and our heart fire, just to keep in line and make sure that this machine we're all running on, which I think is like a karmic wheel that we're all collectively running on, keeps going. And there were lessons to learn from that for thousands of years. I think lifetime after lifetime, we have learned so much from that karmic wheel, and we don't need it anymore. Or you mentioned the children. Our children won't need it anymore. Like we're the ones breaking down that wheel.
Yeah.
And it's the children that will be able to cross that bridge that we're building with the broken wreckage of the karmic wheel to get to this new earth. And I love that. And I have been getting that message again and again recently from different sources, and just waking up hearing it, and it's very loud. So this message you had today was right on with what I've been experiencing. What you do, and I see that as associated with productivity. So your heart essence isn't necessarily what you do. What you do is like an association with productivity and to be useful, to be a useful asset in the machine. Heart fire doesn't care about whether or not it is useful to the machine or to productivity, or the increase of wealth in monetary sense. It's only concerned about the productivity of abundance of energy, exuberance, love, passion, desire. So that came in really strong. And then when you mentioned the children, the next generation, I immediately thought of the 7th generation prophecy. It's a Lakota prophecy. And I pulled up this excerpt from the Red Road Project that I'll read. The red nation shall rise again, and it shall be a blessing for a sick world. A world filled with broken promises, selfishness, and separations. A world longing for light again. I see a time of 7 generations when all the colors of mankind will gather under the sacred tree of life, and the whole earth will become one circle again. And this was spoken by Crazy Horse, the Oglala Lakota leader, in the late 1800s. There was also a holy man called Black Elk who had a vision at the age of 9. He became ill and had a near-death experience. And when he awoke, he shared his vision that he felt the dream was a prophecy of a great suffering that would be set upon his native people. And it wouldn't be until 7 generations later that a sacred duty would be laid upon the people to take a stand for their relatives and the earth again.
Wow.
In his vision, yeah, this was great. This came to mind right away. In his vision, he saw a great tree that symbolized all life on earth. He foresaw war, famine, and sickness among his people, and their sacred circle would be broken. After 7 generations of this darkness, there would be a reuniting for not only his people, the Lakota, but for all the people of the earth. This 7th generation will take back what little culture and rights remain and amplify positive change for future generations that don't exist yet. Today, many elders and native leaders see a clear rise of the 7th generation inner people. These people and those represented in the Red Road Project, which is amazing, by the way, if you can check that out, are making positive impacts within their communities and for the future generations. And these are like the activists, the teachers, the artists, doctors, scientists, community leaders, attorneys, language warriors, and they're all, these are the generation that's building that bridge, breaking down the wheel, helping this 7th generation cross it. And it's this, they have all risen above the darkness that has plagued their people for generations. They are on a path of healing from historical trauma and want to inspire change within their communities by strengthening their sacred hoop while breaking the unbalanced cycles.
Mm-hmm.
So that came out loud and clear about this next generation. They're being born now.
Yes. Yeah.
And this is ushering in this new paradigm, a new earth. We're seeking and grasping to the heart flame will no longer be part of the journey. We don't have to grasp, you don't have to seek. It's going to be right there. Heart fire will already be present, fully embraced, naturally, easily.
Yes. Yeah.
We are the bridge for our children to cross. This is the message I have received again and again. So it just keeps coming up.
Mm-hmm.
So when we go, when we pass, when we die, we take with us karmic loops we have been stuck in for lifetime after lifetime. And these karmic ties and bonds end with us. Our bodies, it's like our bodies are wrapping around this karmic loop of yesterday and dissolving it. So the next generation, they're going to be receiving that support and new beginning, going leaps and bounds into the future. And this trajectory, it's just going to be easy and natural. This heart fire presence, this embrace, it's going to be amazing. So I love how you ended with being fully present, fully aware. I've been experiencing that more recently than it's just coming naturally to just be still, be calm, and be fully present what's going on right now. It has been hard. Like the times are super tough right now and the energies are so crazy. Yeah. And it's been like, so embracing full awareness and presence in this process of karmic dissolving and release, it feels like a surrender and the sense of like all is well, just breathe and be present. So yeah, your message definitely, I got so excited. It expanded my heart fire. I was like, yes, I love it.
Awesome. That makes me so happy. Thank you, Brittany. That was beautiful. Thank you for sharing all of that. Yeah, you did download on you fast this morning. That's great. Lou, my darling, talk to us about you and then share what you got, babe.
Dear Lord, I have to follow that. Okay. That was amazing. That was amazing. Thank you, all three of you. Fantastic. I'll do my best. So I'm a Bhava minister, I'm proud to say, and I'm also a conscious channel of 30 some years. And yeah, these are the big leagues, and this is the big time, my friends. Yeah. This is the big game, actually, is the other phrase that comes to mind. And it really is. It's an honor and a joy from my heart to yours, each of you, to be here with you. That was breathtaking amounts of wisdom from each one of you. And Ingrid, the channeling to begin with is so deep and so profound. Just to pick up on what Brittany was saying there, I do feel like it is, we are absolutely being called to the core of our being, and everything that is not authentic, in integrity, in the truth, has got to be surrendered and released. And we can give it up with a bit of dignity and a sense of humor about it, or we can go kicking or screaming, my friends. The earth doesn't really care at this point, how we choose to do it. Although obviously it's a lot more fun when you jump off the cliff rather than having to be pushed. And we've all had these experiences of standing at the edge of the unknown and calling on God, calling on source, spirit, God, goddess, all that is, divine love, Mons, etc. And we've always been carried, we've always been supported, we've always been met, and the answers always come, and guidance is always available, healing always happens, help is always there. So that's the drumbeat that I want to dance to here with all of you today. To surrender into the knowing that we're really not being asked to do anything but be true to ourselves, be who we really came here to this world to be. And that is, humbling and liberating at the same time, because, like we're all saying here, we've had a lot of influence and psychic, mud to move through in our consciousness and in the world about what's real, what's true, what's important, who's trustworthy, who isn't, who's honest, who isn't, who's honorable, who isn't. I mean, these questions are literally coming up every day of our lives now. And as we know, it is very challenging because people are making, life and death decisions about who they trust and what they believe in. And so, again, there's just very little space for kidding around any longer. We're really being polarized into one path or another, I'd say, at this point. But like I was saying before we got on here today, I feel really, so grateful, because there is so much reassurance, love and support. That was extraordinary that you shared the Lakota message here with us. I've had the pleasure and privilege of meeting the Lakota, and even Arvo Looking Horse, who's the pipe carrier for the Lakota Nation. And these are powerful and humble and very noble, dignified, sacred people and a sacred culture. And I find this in all the indigenous cultures of the world. They love and honor life. They love and honor women as the source of all life. They love and honor the children as the future of life. And the men are to protect the women, and the women protect the children, and life works. And this has been Koyaanisqatsi. This has been life out of balance for a long time. This is a film most of you probably never heard of, but it was a brilliant film that came out about 20 years ago about all of this. And now we're coming back into balance. So everyone who is living from the heart, speaking the truth, being humble and sincere, striving to follow our passion, which is our purpose, and being compassionate and kind and forgiving to others, we're going to be supported and protected. Everyone who is in hatred and fear and pain and struggle is going to have to learn how to ask for help, either from the people in our lives or from spirit, or both. So yeah, it's pretty intense. And I was sharing some stuff I won't even get into here tonight that I've been watching the last 24 or 48 hours, documentaries and interviews and whatnot. But I am, like all of you, I am profoundly grateful to know other conscious beings on this journey, and know such beautiful and conscious beings like yourselves here. And I am deeply held by spirit, like we all are here. And it is a new world, as you said. The new earth has already begun, and it's, we're just learning to wipe clean the window and be able to see it, or wipe clean our eyes and our ears and be able to touch it and taste it and embrace it. So in this time of extremes, Spirit is asking for our total commitment to the truth as we understand it. And in that total commitment comes our total freedom. Partial commitments, living on the fence, saying one thing and doing something else, as you said, it ain't happening any longer. And if you do that, or find yourself doing that, forgive yourself and ask for help and start again.
Mm-hmm. Oh, thank you for that, Lou. That is beautiful, as always. I love how you ended that. Compassion for ourselves. I talked about compassion for others, but that starts with compassion for yourself, for ourselves. Thank you, Lou. Hey, are we ready to bring some of our babes in, some of our audience, and answer some questions and build on our topic? Connie's got a great comment here, which I think we can definitely expand on. Our beautiful Connie Vogel. What an exciting new adventure we are on. Amen, sister. Every day it seems a new tool or new facet of living arrives. Wow, I could not agree more. One of the things I feel like is really happening with these Bhava broadcasts that we're doing is we're getting new tools every week. And it feels like it's building on it. I'm noticing that I'm able to build on the tools that Spirit is downloading to me every week. And I hope that's true for everybody who's tuning in and listening. I want to invite, anybody who's listening now, if you have like new tools that you have downloaded or tools that work for you and you're putting into practice, leave them in the comments. We'll pull some up a little bit later as long as we have time. But even if we don't have time, put them in the comments so that other people can find them later. Because if it works for you, it's going to work for somebody else. And the other thing is, not every tool works for every person. But this is a really juicy conversation started, because I feel like this is an opportunity for each of us to let's share one thing that we put into practice recently that's kind of been a new or maybe an oldie but goodie. I'm really feeling like new tools, new energy that we've been able to put into practice that has really helped us. Harmony, let's start with you.
Okay, well, I'm just going to go with the first thing that popped into my mind, and it's not really new, but just playfulness.
Oh, beautiful.
Playfulness for shifting your energy, shifting your vibration, getting back into that playful energy, just like a child. I mean, it's easy for me because I have a daughter, so it's just like watching her getting into that playful state and energy. It's almost like spirit talking about, I don't know if you remember the show Star Trek, but they would talk about like turbo speed. It like gets your vibration on turbo speed, like really fast. It just shifts your energy so drastically. So yeah. That's the first.
I've been playing more of that too, which is pretty cool. So I love that you brought that up. Thank you, Harmony. How about you, Brittany? Anything come to you that you put into practice recently?
My tools change daily, and
what's today's?
I'm being okay with that. Following my intuition has been a steadfast tool, and being able to. Circumstances change, my day changes, the energies change every day and throughout the day. And so what's useful one moment might not be useful the next. So being able to be adaptable and flexible and trusting that I know what's best in the moment. Yeah. I don't normally do a lot of ritual, but I'd say a couple weeks ago, I was compelled to do a ritual on my property, and it tied so many things together for me, and I felt such direct contact with spirit. The messages were so clear, everything was so surreal, and so for that moment it worked really well and beautiful. It worked beautifully, but so it changes, and trust the change, trust that something that comes up one minute might not work tomorrow.
So like trusting yourself in the moment, learning to That's a powerful
intuition. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, great. Because you're right. The energies are so, it is such an insane world we live in. You have to be adaptable and just be like, okay, this is what we're doing in this moment, and it may be totally different the next, and that's okay. It makes me think about that wheel you were talking about, that machine that's just going the same. We're out of that energy. I mean, a lot of people, even us, are unconsciously trying to mash ourselves into that machine. Yeah. What we know, we're familiar with, but it's not there anymore. The machine has been destroyed. And so getting into the moment and living from a very in the now intuitive place, that's where we're all headed. So brilliant. Thank you for that, Brittany. How about you, Lou?
Sure. Well, those were great. And I love playfulness, harmony. That's, that's where my heart lives. Any excuse for a laugh is welcome. I love music. Music takes me right out of anything and puts me into a higher state. That's one I use a lot. I like we're saying here, things have shifted, and I'm very aware of it, and I can tangibly feel it in my body, in my breathing. I like sitting in silence now, 20 minutes every morning. That's a new thing on top of the guided meditations I usually listen to every day. And just conscious breathing, Ingrid, just like you and I know about grounding, just slowing down and slowing my thoughts down and slowing everything to stillness and, working on getting to that still point, once or twice, as often as I can, really, that is a place where beginning again it just happens,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, beautiful. My latest tool, which is really weird for me, anybody who's known me for any length of time is going to be like, really? So is going slower than I think I need to.
Excellent.
I'm a person who has lived life at breakneck speed, Ingrid, you are such a go-getter. You're on fire. You're do. And I'm like, yeah, I got a whole ego identity wrapped around that. And then I just get the message which was included in this one as well. But I really was getting it earlier this week to slow down. And I'm like, okay, so I'm doing everything when I remember to, every action, every task, everything I'm doing it like half speed. And weirdly, things are getting done when they need to get done.
Mhm.
Yes. Yes. There's more time. There's more time.
There's more time. Yeah. So that's been a really powerful practice for me. Thank you for that epic comment, sparking a great conversation, Connie. You just rock, darling. Christy Clark, she threw up a great quote. Franklin D. Roosevelt said, "The only thing we have to fear is fear itself." Now, there was a man, yes, tapped in.
Yeah, Christy's a guy. Sorry, Ingrid. Christy's an Irish name for a guy.
Sorry, Christy.
That's all right. That's all right.
Great quote.
He's used to it. He's used to it.
All right. Sorry, Christy. But this is a great quote. And yeah, the only thing we have to fear is fear itself. And this is so powerful because what are we moving away from is fear and into love. So this really, okay, I'm liking this. These comments are sparking some questions that I want to ask you guys. And as I ask these questions of our Bhava babes, I want you audience members to tune in as well and feel into it and throw your answers in the comments. Remember, we are building a patchwork quilt of understanding and richness of divine spirit. And so we want you to be a part of this. You're helping us increase this even more. So fear, I feel that it's not everybody else's job to move from fear to love. It's my job to move from fear to love. And every single day I wake up with a commitment to move myself from fear to love. I often wake up in fear. I wake up with anxiety. I wake up rattled. And my first priority is to quell that fear and transform it and move into love. And I'd really like to know, and I think that's true for all of us, we're out here preaching, y'all got to move from fear to love, but we are practicing what we preach every single day, or we wouldn't even be able to get the words out and share the messages. So I'd like to know, what are your daily practices, your go-to methods in the morning when you notice the anxiety ramping up or however shows up for you? How do you move yourself into love? How do you navigate your way back to the love that is residing in your being? And we're going to mix it up a little bit. Let's start with Brittany.
Yeah. Okay. Well, anxiety. I'll wake up. A lot of it comes up as I get really attached to outcomes, how I want things to go. Of course, there's control and attachment to that, to how's this going to go? I need to make this, it needs to turn out this way. So then there's fear that if it doesn't turn out that way, I'm going to get all, something horrible is going to happen. So I'll immediately, it feels bad. You don't feel good. And that's the immediate indicator something's off, something's up. This doesn't feel sticky. It's not flowing. I'm frustrated. I'm angry. I'm feeling restriction and resistance. I'll either feel it in my body or in my, how I'm actually feeling. My mood will just be shitty. And that's, or it could be both. And so my go-to, ask for assistance, like straight up, go to source, go to this, all these energies that are surrounding us that are here to help. And I'm like, okay, I don't know how to change this right now. I don't know exactly what to do right now to make this better. I'm thick in it, like I'm swimming in it. I need help. And without fail, a song will come on. So music will play, or somebody will say something. I'll get a phone call that totally changes the energy flow, or I'll just receive information through a book, or sometimes it's a voice in my head that just tells me exactly what I need to hear. And everything shifts. It's almost like you could hear a click. And everything kind of, just this whole new way of seeing things. The whole day moves forward without that stickiness and that fear and that resistance. So yeah, the first step for me is asking for assistance, and it comes.
That's beautiful. So simple, so powerful, so powerful. Beautiful. I know it works for me every time too. I can't tell you how often I forget to do it.
Me too. No, I do. Sometimes I'll go, yeah, you say, what do you do in the morning to change it? Well, like Sometimes I'll go all day or the next day, maybe a week before I finally go, okay, I'm tired of feeling like this. What's up? I need help. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. How about you, Lou? What's your in the morning practice?
Yes, I mean, I want to raise my hand and relate to everything that was said about all this. Of course, you know, I forget as well. And but so for me, honestly, right now, as we're saying in this this brave new world that we're in, gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. I'm grateful for this, grateful for that, grateful, 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 grateful. The more grateful I can be, the better I feel, the safer I feel, the stronger I feel, the more playful I feel, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So, but yes, I mean, the drama happens. You know, I got my head in the screen all day long. I'm looking at all this crazy stuff. You know, I have to get up and walk around and get out and have some fresh air and all that. My housemate and I go round and round like everyone else does in their relationships. You know, some days are easy, some days are tough. It's, you know, so yes, asking for help, give thanks, and know that it's done. And you know, the other thing I want to say, this is Abraham, of course. They say, you know, we want you to really care about feeling good. You know, to come back to playfulness and happiness and joy and abundance. I loved your distinction between making money and abundance. I thought that was very interesting earlier. You know, that you always have enough, however it wants to show up. That's the other thing I want to say to what you just said, Brittany. I have learned to let go of how it has to happen. It's not my business. I don't need to know. It doesn't matter to me. Ingrid's great line, by any means necessary, quoting the great late Malcolm X. Absolutely. That's it. It can happen any way it wants to, and I'm grateful.
Oh, gorgeous, Lou. Yes, gratitude. Harmony.
Oh my gosh, I love both of those answers just so
good.
They're so good. And I was thinking of gratitude too, so that's wonderful. Yeah, the other thing that's like coming to my mind to just like add to some of those is trusting the process. And, you know, even especially in the times where it feels icky and dark and uncomfortable, and you're like, I just want to get out of my own body because I don't want to feel this stuff that's coming up and it feels so uncomfortable. And that's actually often, that's the contraction before the expansion is coming. So just to remember to trust that even in the process, when it feels really uncomfortable, when we have that anxiety building, that expansion is coming. It's all part of like, we're being guided, we're being supported by spirit. And yeah, I think just on a simple note, getting outside and going for a walk, being in nature, and just, but slowing down on the walk, not just like running really fast, just kind of like, okay, I'm being in nature. Yeah. I'm walking slowly. I'm kind of observing. Maybe there's spirit signs from spirit giving a little like, it's going to be okay. Like there's a light at the end of the tunnel, and just getting into that trust.
Yeah, that's gorgeous. Yes. I want to, so what came to I got gratitude as well, but I want to talk about radical gratitude, which we talked about 2 weeks ago. It was one of the things that Mons downloaded to me. And I went, why the heck not? And I've been working with it for the last couple of weeks. And ladies and gentlemen, I feel transformed from the inside out. So what I mean by radical gratitude, the way Spirit gave it to me is, you know, we're often looking at our situations that suck, our challenges, and we're going, what around this situation can I find to be grateful for? I've got to find something outside of this situation to be grateful for so I can shift my energy. And that works. Absolutely. I've used that for a long time. But Spirit said, no, be grateful for the challenge. And I went in, but I started to practice it. And I'll just drop into my heart with whatever's showing up and challenging me. And I will say, thank you. And I'll be faking it at first. I'll be like, But as I am in my heart and I say, thank you. By the time I'm on like my fifth thank you, I am feeling deeply grateful for the challenge that is in front of me. And in that gratitude, I'm finding that the meaning, the deeper divine meaning with that experience becomes clear in my whole body. And I'm truly grateful for that experience in a way that I is just mind blowing, to be honest. So radical gratitude that I've been really putting into practice. And feels amazing. And so, you know, my Bhava babes know this, and I'll just share this out because that's what I do. I share everything. I've had been hit with sort of a major depressive episode the last couple of weeks. And depression is not my thing. It is not I'm much more on the anxiety spectrum. I'll be freaking out and a lot of fear, but depression is not something I experience very often. So it took me a hot minute to recognize what the heck was going on. And it was such a heaviness that I actually sent a message out to our Bhava community and said, I'm out. I'm only doing the essentials. I can't be there to support particularly. I love you. This is what I'm going through. And first of all, it felt amazing to be able to share that with my community. I feel completely safe and supported to do that, and tons of support. So I've just really gone inward. But these last couple of weeks, and that's why I see that Spirit is building these practices for us every week, I'm seeing as I feel this depression and I want to hook a story on it, and I want to get into all the negative aspects. Every time I feel it, this has been a lot throughout the day, I'm going into my heart and I'm saying thank you to that depression. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I've been sinking into it, and I'm finding this piece of myself that I did not know was there. And it is this strong, steely center that is totally calm and still and sure. And I'm still in it. I don't feel like I've completely made it through yet, but the experience of this depressive episode has been completely transformed to one of presence and self-discovery. And I'd still rather be in joy. I'm not going to lie. I'd still rather be there, but I'm good with where I'm at, and I'm just walking through it. And it has been the practice of this radical gratitude where I just say thank you to that sadness, that deep sadness that feels unbearable, until I sink into the gratitude for it. And then I begin to transform it. It's been powerful. So radical gratitude.
Beautiful.
2 Sundays ago, that's when we talked about it, if anybody wants to go revisit that message. So
Yeah,
gorgeous.
beautiful.
Thank
Beautiful.
you, Sir Christy. Christy, sir. Sorry about that. Thank you for that. Let's take one more comment to talk about. If you guys are still feeling good, we're kind of coming up on our hour here. But yeah, okay, I'm feeling the juice as well. So we have a lot of good stuff. Just give me a minute because I'm yapping here. There was one.
I like a lot of good stuff.
A lot of good stuff too. Oh, there she is. Okay, and this is the one I was looking at. So Kim Fraser, love you, babe. So any frustrations, anger, lashing out are coming up to be released. Is that accurate? And she goes, Mercury retrograde too. Yes, and Mars retrograde. And you know what? I'm going to bounce this over to Brittany, our astrologer extraordinaire, because I'd love for you to talk about the astrology and this stuff that's coming up right now in our collective.
Yeah, when Ingrid brings up a bout of depression and Mars retrograde and Mercury retrograde, I'm going to immediately equate the retrograde with slowing down, which can feel a lot like depression. I find that for me personally, when I like to move fast too. And so when I'm intentionally slowing down or being kind of forced to slow down, it can feel like I'm being repressed in a sense, oppressed, like something heavy is sitting on me and I can't go forward. And so when you think of retrograde, it encompasses all of the words of rewind, remind, reprogram. It's all about going backwards or just slowing down, staying put. And so, yes, these planet, yes, Kim, Mercury retrograde too. I think we're slowing down long enough to look at all of those things coming up. And I'm going to talk a little bit about Patricia Cota Robles that Lou had brought up her recent, what was it? How many hours of illumination?
Yeah, it was. Thank you. Bless you. Yeah, it's 12 hours, 6 days, 2 hours a day.
Yeah.
Her 34th annual World Congress on Illumination.
Wow.
Yeah. Patricia Cota Robles is incredible light bringer, and I did start that, and I probably am in 6 hours of it, and somewhere in the middle of that, she mentioned something that stuck, and I've been thinking about it a lot, and I've been bringing it up. This energy of the new earth, new paradigm, this love, this amazing ease and spiritual connection, it's like it's coming up from the very center of the earth and pushing all of that karmic wheel stuff I'm talking about, and all of this stuck energy that's inside of our bodies collectively on this planet, pushing it up to the surface to be seen, to be dealt with, to be embodied and then dissolved so that we can actually work through it. So when I see the planets moving the way they're moving, that is the process I'm seeing unfolding in our lives. So that image of this energy kind of like pushing stuff up to the surface is perfect. So that's how I see that.
That's gorgeous. Awesome. Thank you, honey. Harmony, what do you got for this for Kim's comment? Did you just look at me like, me?
Yeah. Oh, that was awesome, Brittany. I always love hearing the astrology surrounding like the energies, and it's like, oh, that makes so much sense. I feel that. Yeah, and I love what Brittany was saying about like the stuff coming up from the earth, and it's coming up for us individually and collectively. And so once again, I'm like saying that same message before, which is trusting the process, even when it's like those frustrations, anger is coming up. It's coming up so it can be released, Kim. Yes, I agree. It's needing to be released, which is why it's coming up. And just trusting that process, you know. We're clearing out. It's almost like Spirit gives me the analogy of like a garden. We have all these weeds right now, and it's like we're pulling out the weeds so that new plants can start growing. Mm-hmm. And that like that energy, that frustration, like all this stuff, the depression that you were talking about, Ingrid, it's coming to the surface so it can be cleared so we can really make room for the new energy. So just keep 100%. Trusting. It's an uncomfortable time, and I get it.
It is uncomfortable. Yeah.
Be gentle with yourself. That's one last thing. Be gentle with yourself.
Love yourself through it. Love yourself. Yeah. Thank you for that, Brittany. Lou, darling, bouncing over to you.
Yeah, beautiful. Boy, that I can just sail on all of that. You know, so anger is the shock and disappointment we tend to feel when our emotional needs are not met and our expectations are frustrated. Mm-hmm. And so, you know, to pick up on your great word there, Harmony, be gentle. Like we're saying, go slow, listen, go within, trust, be grateful, be deliberate, be as soft as you can, as kind as you can, all of that. Then pushing, frustration, impatience, all this, you know, fire energy that I think is part of what's moving through right now. You know, it's easy to get burned, as the saying goes. Whereas actually in the Mayan wave spell, I looked today, we're into 13 days of water now, which is lovely. So it is going to be a very emotional time. This is what my astrologers that I listen to as well, Brittany, and you're right up there with them. You know, this Steve Judd says he's been talking about the new moon in Libra in October of 2020 for years, because it is such a pivotal time of changing. And as we're saying here, it's a crucible. You know, it's bringing up the pain, the frustration, the loneliness, and the fear. And I like Abraham's point that everything that is a negative emotion, in quotes, feels bad, has its roots in fear somewhere. So if we can be aware of that in the back of our mind and, you know, keep coming back to the positive side of things, what can I be grateful for? How can I forgive myself, forgive the situation, bless the situation, etc. I mean, even honestly, all that I'm reading about with lockdown and the virus and what's true, what isn't, all of those things, I still need to keep in the back of my mind, these are all still children of God. And no matter what the agenda is, hidden or otherwise, it's not my part to judge it. It's my part to be discerning and discriminating and to know where the power lies or where my passion and purpose lies in all of this, and to speak my truth without getting triggered into hating or fearing anyone else. And that's the deep work to me of this time. And it's easy to get triggered because the fear thing is just rolling through the media all day long. And it takes great discernment, detachment, and discrimination to keep coming back to self and be the peace that passes understanding in the midst of all these intense energies. So it's a great question.
Yeah. And lots and lots and lots of self-love and self-care. Self-care, self-care, self-care. That's what I'm getting hammered with right now. Self-care is so important right now. Whatever it takes for you to move from that place of fear into love, because we're being bombarded with it. I feel like that's why I wake up with anxiety most mornings, is because everybody's experiencing that, and we're sensitive beasties. And so when we move out of fear and into love, we are doing our part to change the world.
Brilliant.
Just that. Yeah. Thank you so very much. Wow. We have so much good stuff. I wish we could get to every single comment on here, because you guys are amazing. And if we didn't catch you, it's okay. Thank you for leaving your comment, because people are going to come back. They're going to watch the replay. They're going to scan through the comments. They're going to see what you posted, and make no mistake, what comes through you in this moment is powerful and valuable. And you are going to be impacting somebody's life, whether you got thrown up on the screen with us or whether you just left the comment on the video. Thank you so very much for joining in the conversation and helping us just make this patchwork quilt huge today. Anybody feel that? This feels juicy. Yeah,
yummy.
This feels really, really yummy.
Yeah, baby.
I'm thinking I'd like to read our message one more time, if that feels good.
Sure, lay it on us.
And then we'll integrate our discussion and our message with a sound bath from Chris. And then I'm going to close this out with some Bhava announcements. So if you're still watching, thanks for hanging in there and being a part of this. Please do stay tuned. Stay tuned for the sound bath. This integration is really important. Okay, we want this into ourselves, and that sound bath is going to help. And then you're going to want to hear the announcements as well. Okay, so one more time, message from Spirit. Here's what we all been talking about. Since the paradigm shift in your reality, it has been harder and harder for you to take actions that are not aligned with your heart fire. Your heart fire is normally thought of as life purpose, but that is just a sliver of what we mean. Your heart fire is the essence that fills your entire being. It is meant to radiate from you, to emanate from you, and thus draw to you its worldly expression. It is not a solid substance. It is your unique divine signature. Your life purpose is the peace that is the doing, but heart fire is the being of this signature energy. Almost all of you have squelched your heart fire and seek relentlessly a fulfillment that cannot be found outside of this energy. Residing fully in your heart fire brings you into alignment as a divine being. This is why you have stuffed it away, and why everyone you love has unwittingly discouraged your heart fire. The paradigm shift now requires you to inhabit your heart fire to stay on this planet. You are bringing in the golden age. This means it is harder and harder to live out of alignment with who you are. Again, it is easy to associate what we are sharing with you with what you are here to do, but that is the smallest aspect of heart fire. You will not know at first what it is you do in the world with your heart fire, and indeed, for many, it will change many times throughout your life. The focus must always start within. Your outer purpose reveals itself to you. It is not something you go out and find or try to figure out. Now is the time to become so slow in everything. Honor discomfort that arises. It is underneath what is surfacing now that you will find your heart fire. It will feel both familiar and somewhat alien at the same time. It is your original energy, but you have been out of touch with it for so long. It used to be that the human experience was the journey to authenticity. On this new earth, the journey will be along and growing into authenticity, not losing it to then have to rediscover it. Your children will embody this new paradigm fully. You, as the bridge, are tasked with unearthing your heart fire and courageously standing tall in that fire as it burns away the rubble of your conditioning. Then you will be prepared to nurture the next generation and transmute your own suffering to spiritual wisdom and divine integrity. Love has arrived on earth. You are the first bringers of that love. You are the ones to light the blaze of this golden age with your own heart fire. For now, your task is to be. Find slowness, be silent, be present with everything and anything arising in you and nothing more. Use the practice of radical gratitude and deep honoring to burn away your identity and inauthentic beliefs. In presence, slowness, being. Allow your heart fire to emerge, and then all will be clear. Thank you so very much for joining. Let's go ahead and integrate with that sound bath. I love you all so much. Thank you. Oh, thank you so much for staying on for that sound bath. Chris is so gifted. It's such a beautiful experience to have her as part of this experience every week. So quick announcements from the Bhava Mission, and then I release you. But first of all, thank you. Thank you for jumping on. Thank you for listening, for being present energetically, for being present physically to our Bhava community. Harmony, Brittany, and Lou, thank you so much for joining on and making this as impactful as it was today. And thank you everyone for your comments. And if you didn't comment and you preferred to just sit back and receive and observe, thank you for your energy. This has been a powerful virtual circle, virtual sacred space, and I am honored to be a part of it and to facilitate it. Thank you. If you have found this broadcast valuable, I would like to encourage you to give us a like, a love, a share, subscribe on our YouTube channel, share with any friends who you think would find this message valuable as well. We are here to be of divine service to you, and this is one of the ways that we do that. So your help in facilitating that, if you feel so called, is greatly appreciated. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If you would like to make a donation to the Bhava Spiritual Mission, you can do so using the link on my screen. It's also listed in the description of our video as well. So it creates a hyperlink so you can click straight to it. The Bhava Spiritual Mission is a church, and so your donation is tax deductible. Your donation helps us keep the wheels turning. We are, spending time, resources, money, and everything to bring this out to you, and it is our pleasure to do so. And if you can jump in and help us out a little bit, it would be greatly appreciated. That link gives you an option to donate one time, or you can set up a monthly subscription for however much feels good to you to be in support of our mission and our ministry and what we are here to do. So thank you so much for that. We also have a new program. It's called the Bhava Sitters Program that I'm really excited to share with you. So every Wednesday, our school has a training class on one of the intuition modalities. So Wednesdays will either have an energy healing class or a mediumship class or psychic reading class or a channeling class. These classes are hands-on, and our trainees need people to practice on. And that's why I'm offering this to you. So again, the link is included in the description of this video. So go ahead and click on it, and you can sign up to get a reading, join our class, and be a sitter for one of our Bhava students and get a reading for about $25 is what it starts at. So if you want to be a part of it, join this Wednesday. We're doing a channeling spirit class. So come in and maybe you can get a message from your spirit guide, or one of our students can tune into their spirit guide and relay a message for you. So it'd be great to have you on there. You are more than welcome. Just follow the link in the description. And then finally, we are opening our mission for members. If you would like to join our school, if you want to do the deeper work and really hone in and find your heart fire and find your purpose, draw it to you through that heart fire and show up in the world and spread your message. If you want to be a spiritual envoy, we specialize in supporting the next wave of spiritual leaders. And we do have openings for November. So please send me an email, Ingrid@bhavamission.org. And again, that's in the description as well. And let's chat. Let's see if it feels like a good fit, and we can move forward and see how that feels. Again, thank you so much. I appreciate you. I love you. And I can't wait till next week. Same time, same place. We're going to have a new panel. So it's always new and interesting energy when we do this every week. It never gets stagnant. Thank you again for your presence, for your support. And I love you to death. I love you madly.